Hello, everyone. Is that dramatic enough for you? That music gets me going every time. I love the drums, I love the energy, I love the vibe. And have we got some amazing co-author cast members for you to meet today? And we are launching book 3 of this series, and it's called Heroes Roar Tiger Edition: Stories All About Passion and Purpose. And I see people already commenting in the chat. It is a vibe, honestly. This is book 3, and I think we're now over 100 amazing, powerful stories that we have shared collectively in the world. This has over 20, I think 24 stories, and it is phenomenal. And you're going to meet some of these amazing, phenomenal people today. And we're going to start with the one and only Nicole Whitty. Come and join me, Nicole.
Hi, Karen. Hi, everyone.
Deja vu, Nicole. You're in every book.
I love it. It's so invigorating being a part of this project. I love it. It's just amazing.
It has an energy and a force all of its own, Nicole, doesn't it? And
It
you know all
does.
about an energy. So can you share a little bit about why you were drawn to the experience and why the tiger called to you so loud?
Well, when I started writing my chapter, and of course the theme is passion and purpose, and everything that I do comes through intuitively, as you know, Karen. So for me, the first feelings that I was getting about it was all about the love that I feel in my life for other people, and also my experience of this transcending lifetimes and connections with other souls, to share that story of how that came about for me personally, with my own partner, and how it started as dreams. I started to receive and experience intense, repetitive dreams of memories of our souls, that we had together in other lifetimes before we met. And it was such a interesting experience, because when I eventually, when you first meet someone, you don't want to share things like that.
No.
But, it's not like, the sort of dinner table topic. But yeah, when I did eventually open up to him, he ended up having the same dreams as me. And we were literally remembering each other. The closer we were coming together to meeting, we were literally having the exact dreams, the exact memories. And as soon as we met, it's when you meet people and it's like, I feel like I've known you forever. And obviously in this lifetime, I've only just met you. But,
Yes.
it's that beauty that we all share with other people when we have those connections, and we realize that love transcends everything. It transcends end of life, is in the physical form. It transcends lifetimes, and we always draw back those, really, precious connections that we've had with other souls, to, support each other or guide each other in another way. It always comes about at the right time, and I find it so fascinating how when you do meet these other souls, like even when I met you, Karen, it's like we just connected and clicked, and it's like we've known each other forever. And it really is felt on a deep soul level, and I think that that's what a lot of us are looking for, externally. But what it actually gifted to me was the realization that it is all within myself. Everything that I'm looking for in every other soul is because it's in me, that I'm actually, embodying it and attracting it into my life. And that's what I wanted to share with everyone.
Oh, breathe that in, everyone. I just love it. I love my conversations with Nicole. She's such a generous energy giver. I'm sure you can share, you can feel it across the screen. If ever I've got challenges in life, I'm like, Nicole, I need something done with my energy, please.
Yeah,
It's,
thank
and,
you.
and like, how do you just go to accepting that and not over question it and just embracing it in your life? That's the thing. A lot of people will question it and put up blocks towards it. Have you any tips for people who find it hard to believe in this, like destiny and that whenever you meet someone and you just know, and you don't have to explain it, you just know that you know each other from before, not in this lifetime, but things like that, and you
Yeah.
just allow it to be, give it permission to be. Can you talk to that?
I think it's natural to question it. I think that's part of the growth. I wondered in the beginning too. I think if you do question things and go, wait a minute, is this just my imagination? Am I just hoping it's this thing? I think that all those questions lead to growth and allow us to explore, deeper levels of ourselves and expand with them as well. So I think that that's actually part of it. That's part of the beauty of meeting another person or another soul, and the energetic signatures that they embody and what they trigger in us, simply from our consciousness focusing on them and the energy flowing back to us. It's always output input coming back and forth. And there was a lot of growth for me. I wasn't really open
Growth
to.
isn't pretty, is it, Nicole? It's not pretty.
Well,
Growth
yes,
sometimes
sometimes
isn't pretty.
sometimes you're really like, oh my God, and I definitely went through that myself. So I wouldn't pretend that I didn't, because I did. I questioned things. I, questioned myself. And, I just found, I think when you have things like dreams and then, having all the synchronicities that we had together, it is one of those moments where you do question yourself, and those things are healthy.
It is
Self-inquiry, self-inquiry is healthy, and it's good to ask yourself questions and allow yourself to experience the growth that comes with it, because there's so many things that come up in us. I had already previously had a serious relationship and a child, and that relationship ending. So I had to face lots of fears within myself about what it meant to be a mum and have another person come into my home, come into my life, be an influencer of my child. All those, there's so many factors that come into it that you're working with. And it's, I think, natural to have fears come up with all those things too, that you explore and you, again, grow with. And that's what I've just been doing. I'm very honest about that. I'm very honest about
And you're
that.
passionate about it, and I love this. I love this, and that's the thing, is that with growth and with all of those things, we really just need to put energy into what resonates and what calls us, because that's what's guiding us forward. And get curious and just action some things aligned with that, because each of us are being guided in this lifetime towards whatever our highest purpose is. And if we have the courage to step into that, then we can make anything happen. Things that will just blow your mind. You're going, wow.
And when it comes to love, it's almost like we're dissolving all the things that aren't love within ourselves to be able to experience it with another person, or, with the world, to see the beauty around us, to even feel okay in ourselves. It's like these people that are in our lives, the souls that come into our lives, are catalysts to show us all the things that aren't in alignment with harmony within ourselves. And they're opportunities, if we let them be that, they're opportunities to, be able to increase our soul growth and also be able to evolve from those points, not stay there. And, I think that that's a decision that we make in those moments as well. I decided to grow from them. I wanted a better life. I wanted a good life. I didn't want to stay in my limited states of suffering. But it takes a while, and that's why I studied with the Napoleon Hill Institute with my mindset, and also the subconscious as well is a fascinating topic for me. I study that still all the time, and just where do these things come from? Where does everything come from? Where does the energy come from? Where does the connection with other souls come from? That is so impactful. You feel it instantly when you know another soul. The soul recognition is just, it's right there. And then you also have the recognition of souls that you may not have had very good experiences with, and you
Yes.
instantly like them.
And that brings all sorts of different things to the surface, which, well,
Yeah.
I would love to talk to you all day, Nicole. And I know what me and Nicole are like when we get talking, but you are a master coach with the Napoleon Hill Institute. I love how you teach through there. You do so much work with the Elysian Sanctuary. I really recommend that everyone goes and checks out Nicole and the Elysian Sanctuary online, because you don't have to be in South Australia where Nicole is, in her beautiful sanctuary, which we were there filming for the Docufilm a year ago this week. I got a notification that we were there a year ago this week. And I was like, oh my goodness, and now we're launching Tiger, which is wonderful. So yes, go and check it out, because there's online, we can all, you do amazing Zoom calls that I be on quite regular. They just, something shifts within you, and it just sets you on this beautiful trajectory for the week ahead. So I highly recommend checking it out. And thank you so much, Nicole, for being part of another Here Schroer book.
Yes, I'm so grateful. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for everything that you've created. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
And now you're going to get to meet the wonderful Michael Tellis. Come and join me, Michael. Hello.
Hello, Karen. How are you today?
I am really good. All the better for launching another book. More words and stories out into the world. Isn't it powerful?
Very exciting. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this series. It's an amazing adventure that you're doing, and absolute, passion and purpose right there, all in one.
You're right. Thank you for observing that and sharing it. I really appreciate it. And passion and purpose called for you, didn't it, Michael? Because, the Tiger roars, and you are also an NHI coach, and you do some amazing work, the New Mentee framework. I just love it. But can you talk to us about what excites you about life and what your passion and purpose is?
Sure. Well, it probably just goes back to, which is obviously covered in the book, but, school for me was really boring. I just turned up, did what I had to do, no excitement whatsoever, until I went to woodworking class at a technical school. And in fact, the telephone table that I made way back in the late 1970s is just over there. My mother kept it. She wouldn't destroy it. So it's not a work of art, but again, it's about that expression of passion in art, etc. And then my next real recollection of really finding something to do is the passion to go overseas and work. So that all aligned. I had to find a job that worked with that, etc. So I see passion and purpose as being things that happen over decades as life changes. So school, marriage, children, careers, whatever it happens to be. And I think that the thing that I've got back now that I look back, as they say, you can't join the dots looking forward, is that each decade has something. You just have to find what that is and then really commit to what that's all about. And it builds, it's a momentum. It's like a flywheel. The big wheel that you've got to turn, and at times it might seem a bit hard to turn, or you start life and you're really excited, like some young people, they want to play sport and they go and have a really young career in tennis or whatever it happens to be, and then they can't play anymore. So then what happens?
Exactly. Yes.
So then you've got to say,
I feel like the whole world's falling apart. They've lost their purpose, all of the things. Where then?
So how many elite athletes do you see that once they get out of the comfort zone, all the elite coaches, the nutrition people, the mindset people, etc., they get lost. Some of them just literally lose their way. Plenty of those examples. So I think that whole process of understanding purpose and passion, which to me really is in coaching, I ask my clients two major questions. Firstly, are you happy?
Oh yes, that's important.
And secondly, why are you here?
Oh.
So
do you want me to answer those?
Yes, you want to answer that. We know why. We know you're happy all the time.
Yes,
well, most of the time, especially when you're on long haul flights. Yeah, especially when you're on long haul flights and you can't go anywhere. But
yes.
So in fact, I might be in Belfast in early September, but I think I'll miss you because you're going.
No, I will still be there. My parents' wedding anniversary is on the 6th of September, so I will still be in Ireland.
Oh, well, we'll talk after. I'm going to London because my daughter's going for a conference. But anyway, so to me, it's all that building. That's how you build it up. And you have to have that deep interest in what you're doing. And as you said earlier in the call, curiosity is very important. And once you start to answer those questions, am I happy? Why am I here? And as Nick said earlier, you do the inner work. You do the deep introspection, because everything's inside you. Your inner world creates your outer world. And that's why you need to find why you're here and your purpose. And one of the dreams I've had forever, and I don't have any musical talent, my other side of the family inherited everything, was to launch a song and a music video. And that's probably going to happen within 4 weeks.
See, isn't that epic?
Exactly.
Like, to the rational mind, you're going like, what, why, how? But yet you called that. That's on your bucket list, and you're making it happen.
And then you've got to be committed. So I've invested in creating that. I've tried the creativity. Finally, a poem came to me. I just sort of channeled it one Sunday. So that's why you sit with what's inside you. You really go inside and try and then release all those paradigms that have told you can't, or you shouldn't, or you couldn't, or you wouldn't. I was told in church to stop singing because my voice was terrible. And so I never learned how to sing, and I had heaps of opportunities to sing. So never let anybody tell you can't if you have a dream, and then you just keep going, and then make big commitments. So I left a well-paid job to start my first business, and then that business, after 14 years, I sold my share in that to start what I think is the real reason why I'm here, which is what's behind me. And I've been working. That's 3 years worth of work sitting behind my shoulder. And that's about to be launched fully over the next couple of months as well. So to me, that's really passion and purpose. And if you want to really get into the scientific theory of how that energy combines and you connect with the universe through finding what your real purpose is and putting passion to it, it's Albert Einstein, which is E = mc squared. So you combine that energy, you connect within yourself, then that connects you to the universe. And then, as you said about the how comes. Yeah. Humans always worry about the how. And as a former project manager, obviously, we always have to worry about how things are going to be delivered. So once you disconnect that, and as you and both Nick talked about earlier, you rely on your intuition and you follow that heart and you really get into your heart mind, that's when the magic actually happens. And you watch the synchronicity. Anyway, I could talk forever, but I don't know how much time we've got.
Well, I just love hearing your perspective, and I want to share with everyone. Go and check out Michael Tellis on LinkedIn, because he does the best videos. Honestly, he does the best videos full of really engaging content and thought-provoking content that gets you thinking different, because what Michael's talking about there goes against normal thinking on a lot of amazing, wonderful things, and finding your path onto passion and purpose can often seem irrational to other people. But whenever you embody it yourself, whenever you back yourself and you say, it may not, that's okay, but I'm going for this anyway, you will be guided. You don't need to know how, you just need to know that you're doing it, and back yourself, and you will be guided along the way. And how do we know? Because we've done it. We've walked the path, we've had the courage. Isn't that right, Michael?
Exactly right. And that builds confidence when you start small. As I said, woodworking class wasn't exactly changing the world, but it just showed that if there's a deep interest and you follow your heart, amazing things can happen. And you just build, and momentum builds. And as I said, you stack desires turned into missions turned into purpose, and purpose turns into the bigger purpose. And then there's more, because you're not done until you're done. You're absolutely not done until you're done. And there's somebody like Bob Proctor proved that. Bob didn't stop right until the last of the while. So just keep going. Retirement.
And his legacy lives on. You can still feel his energy. We're still learning from him every day online. I see videos from Bob.
Don't retire from life. Just retire from whatever you're doing and start a new venture. Just keep starting new ventures.
I'm going to go over your video and extract all of the quotes that can go on graphics. There's so many. Amazing. Thank you so much, Michael, and thank you so much for being part of Heroes
Pleasure.
Roar.
Look forward to getting my paper copies and giving them to all my friends with my autograph in it.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. That's priceless.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, take care. Thank you for joining me. See, we've got amazing people in this book, and that's only 2 down. Now we've got another wonderful co-author cast member, the wonderful Marianne Rose, who is here in Perth. We're both on the same side of Australia. Woohoo! Oh, look.
Hi, Karen! Yay!
Cover. So you do. I love it. You got your tiger top on.
I know, tiger themed.
Tiger vibes. Marianne, we've been on a journey to get to this book, to this stage, and now we're launching. Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, it's been a long time coming, but I'm so excited that we're finally here. I can't wait to get a copy of it in my hot little hands as well.
They're on the way. They went to print today. Marianne, we filmed you for the Docufilm about 18 months ago, I think it was. It's just, time is just flying in. What is time anymore? I don't know. But we're on divine timing with this series, so we honor it and show up for it. And thank you so much for showing up today for our interview.
No, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. And thanks so much for the opportunity. It's amazing to be with all these wonderful authors who, their perspectives are just, it's such a great learning opportunity. I'm loving it.
Isn't it the diversity of stories within the books, the series? Like, we've done the lion, we've done the lioness, now we're doing the tiger, and each themed, but they're all got the same theme, but no 2 stories are the same at all. The contrast is it's more than I could ever imagine.
And I love everybody has a very different take on passion and purpose as well. And it is that diversity of thinking that is really the richness, I think, that these stories bring. It really brings it to life.
And no one went to the other end of passion. It was all passion for life, passion for your job, passion for your career, not for the other love passion, which was really, really interesting and good also. Can you talk to me about your chapter and what you're sharing with everyone?
Yeah, so I wrote a letter to my niece, my little darling Harriet, who's away from me. She's in Melbourne. And I really, it was sort of that divine timing when you came to me and you said, oh, look, would you like to write something? And this was the topic, because I've written a children's book for her brother, which is a Hamish McGruff children's book. And I had wanted to write one for her, but I had really struggled with, like, what could the story be and what could I write for her? And when you sort of came and suggested this, really aligned with my views about, what do I believe around women's education and, the role of women in society and advancing equity between women and girls. And so I really wanted to write a story for her about how you can use passion and purpose through a different lens to create your future, and how I've grappled and struggled with that idea of passion and purpose. Because one of the things that I've found in my background is a legal background, is that I've always had a very sort of clear trajectory. It was go to university, get a law degree, go get a job at a law firm, get your master's degree. And it was all this very sort of clear step-by-step trajectory. And then I got to a point in my career where it was really, well, what is purpose? What does purpose mean to me, and a rich, fulfilling life mean to me? And I would really, did a lot of reading on this topic and a lot of like, why? What is my why? And I really struggled with it because, I think some people, it's very clear to them, they have this big P purpose and they know what it is, to, solve world hunger or become the Prime Minister or whatever it might be. But I really found that I couldn't really nail down what that big P purpose looked like for me. And I realised, particularly when I was writing my thoughts down for this story, was your purpose changes, as does your passion through life and the different scenarios that you go through and the different circumstances that you find yourself in. And passion and purpose, it flows a little bit like a river down a stream. It can meander at some times and be slow and calm, and then other times it's a big rush and a big roar. And and I think sometimes we have to recognise that sometimes there's a small p purpose in life, and that small p purpose is just as important as the big P. We don't always need the big P purpose. We can enjoy the little things in life, like lighting a candle at the end of the day to sort of mark the transition of the day's end, or watching. For me, I've got jasmine growing out in my back garden, and just watching the sort of jasmine come to life and grow each time little Hamish McCroft tries to dig it up and I have to replant it. But I think that there's a real richness in recognizing that purpose has merit in sometimes the curiosity of the mind, and asking those little questions like, do I enjoy travel? Do I enjoy being with my family? And is it about raising my children, or is it about writing a little beautiful, whimsical story for my niece that brings out that richness of creativity and curiosity that I have. So that is the way that I approached this, and passion and purpose.
And you use that. I from since I've known you, I see that you are passionate and purposeful about everything you apply yourself to, Marianne. Whenever we met and you're doing your children's book, and I want everyone to go and check out Hamish McGruff on Instagram. He is just the best. He's actually a real dog with his own Instagram account. He's just gorgeous, and he has his own book, and it's such an amazing book. And Marianne wrote it. Marianne wrote it. We got an illustrator. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. So go and check it out. And you were so passionate about that story and the vision. You've got a vision for things, and you trust the process, and you go with it, and you can see the purpose this drives you, but it's not that overwhelming. You just go with it. You transition with any ebbs and flows that come. Do you think that comes from your law? You have.
I don't know. Look, I think that maybe it's the creative side of me has to pour out, and it's the sort of the opposite side of the legal side, which can be a little bit hard nosed. And I really like that you can try your hand at different things, and it's the curiosity, which I think ultimately, if I was to look at the driver behind my passion and my purpose, it's the humility that comes from creativity and curiosity.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I think with creativity, it brings good things into your life whenever you embrace it wholeheartedly, isn't it? And I suppose this different side of the brain for some people who are doing. It's fabulous. And I just love that you showed up and are part of this series. And I look forward to hearing. What age is your niece now?
Oh, I'll get it wrong. I think she's 6 or 7. How bad is that? I don't know the exact age.
I shouldn't put you on the spot. I should have told you. Okay, well, she will learn a lot from you reading the story to her whenever, if it's ready now, but whenever. It is just amazing, and to dedicate that. And then this is legacy stuff. That's what I love. Stories are legacy stories. They don't ever go out of date. These are legacy stories that will reach the heart and mind of someone at some point and just change them. They will never be the same again because they've ignited something within them. So thank you for showing up, Marianne, for your niece, but also for everybody else who gets the joy to read the story you've written. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity. And I can't wait for it to get that hard copy in my hand and also read everyone else's stories. It's going to be so exciting.
Absolutely. Whenever they're here, I'll let you know. I'll get one to you. We'll have a coffee. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Marianne. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Wow. See? Amazing people. We can't get better than that, can we? Now I'm going to introduce our last guest for today, who is the amazing Deborah Dickenson. Come and join me, Deborah. How are you going?
I'm going well, thank you.
The feminine warrior. I love it.
Yes, that was
Thank
the
you
name.
so much for being part of this, Deborah, the Hero's Roar Passion and Purpose Edition, the Tiger Edition. Thank you so much for showing up for the power of story, because you know how important that is to me. So can you speak to that for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and thank you for the opportunity. This has been a bit of a dream come true for me to put pen to paper. So passion and purpose were two words and questions that I'd be asked that I was fearful of, because I didn't know what that was for me. And in my chapter, I start off with, with an experience that I had in my corporate life, which was about passion and purpose. But, now looking backwards, it wasn't my passion and purpose. And I talk about bits and pieces throughout my life that we're similar to that, similar to writing other people's passion and purpose, because I engaged with it, absolutely, but I wasn't discovering what mine was until, of course, you do look backwards and think about the things that gave me so much joy and happiness, and then it starts to unravel. I was listening to Michael earlier, and it's so true. This builds over time, and it's not until you look back that you start to really piece it all back together for you. So this was a real honor to write. And just the people around you, the most important people around you. When I write a piece in there about how my mum was right there for me, and how that sort of gave me this purpose, and knowing that I belonged, and then when it started to really connect for me, and I started to, then I knew what my passion was, and I now know what my purpose is. So I really enjoyed writing that and reconnecting with all of that. And, like I said, when people used to say to me, "Oh, what are you passionate about?" And I couldn't answer the question. And it was the same with the purpose question. But now, absolutely, I know what I'm passionate about, and I know what my purpose is.
Oh, it's beautiful. I just love it. And I can feel it from you, and just emitting from you. It's so amazing. I always say, do more of what lights you up, because that's where you're going to find your passion and purpose is in that, where your joy is, what lights you up, what fills you up. But you spoke there about belonging, and we all need to feel like we belong somewhere, whether that's rooted in country, wherever you are, whatever it is. You hear of people saying, I just arrived here and just felt like I belonged here, that this is where I was supposed to be, and it's that happened to me coming to Australia. I just knew I was supposed to be here at this time. You know what I mean? So can you speak to that for me, Deborah? Because I know that.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Look, and growing up in New Zealand, in a very small country town at the top of the North Island, I was surrounded by just this beautiful nature, and then I had this moment happen in my life when I was quite young, which was just thrust me into this grief, and my world kind of went off track, totally off track at that point, and I moved to Australia, and it became that belonging in moments. I feel like I belong here, but they were just moments. And then that reconnection back to myself, back to my inner self, I realized I had always belonged. I had just forgotten what I belonged to. And but yeah, absolutely, that sense of belonging. And like you say, it now when I might turn up somewhere or go and visit somebody, and there's just this present that says, yeah, I like this, I belong here, this feels right, this feels good. And I think when that is absolutely attached to your passion and purpose, that belonging is almost, it encompasses it all, doesn't it? So but yeah, the belonging is just and sometimes we just have to remember that we belong to ourselves. and just we can go down these different paths in life. But having said all that, if I hadn't have done those different paths in life, I wouldn't be able to share the experiences or connect with so many people if that hadn't have been my life track. So
Beautiful.
the belonging was always meant, it was always there.
Yeah, it centers and aligns things. I think it just helps you feel whole. It helps you not question things so much whenever you have a sense of belonging. It's very important, and I think that people don't realize that as well. If you're feeling that thing, get curious, go explore, see where the breadcrumbs lead you. There's something there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that.
Deborah, thank you so much for showing up, for sharing your story in Heroes Roar Tiger Edition, Passion and Purpose. We really appreciate and value you, and we cannot wait to hear what people think of it around the world. But also, yes, we also can't wait to see you and get you filmed for the Docufilm as well.
I'm looking forward to that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Well, guys, that's only the tip of the iceberg of the amazing humans that are in Heroes Roar Tiger Edition, Passion and Purpose. So go and grab your copy. It's online. You can get it at kmdbooks.com as well. And let's just share the power of story with the world, because stories make the world go round. They help us connect, they heal, ignite things within each other, and just bring wonderful, wonderful things into the world. So would you not want to be part of that? I know I do. I show up for it every single day. So thank you so much to all of my Heroes Roar Tiger Edition authors and all of my Heroes Roar authors who have the courage to show up and share their story so that they can reach the hearts and minds of other people. Is that not beautiful service? It is in my book. Go and grab your copy today, and I shall see you on the next live. Bye, guys.